Good evening, magical friends. This is Anna from Anna Transylvania's Tarot Room with a continuation of the Tarot Bite, Magic Bite, of the Supermoon from tonight. And I explain in there, in the Supermoon stuff, okay, that tonight's Gemini new moon is not just a new moon, okay, it is also the sun and the moon are together just as in any other new moon, because that's why it's a new moon. Okay, it's occurring around now at 11:06 p.m. Okay, but it's gonna last for a couple of days. Okay, well, until the moon gets out of Gemini. This is gonna last until the moon gets out of Gemini. Different things are gonna be happening, but yes, this is gonna last until tomorrow night ish. Okay, so you have a whole day if you want to do something, if you want to manifest stuff. Okay, but anyway, this new moon is not just the sun and the moon are together, but Uranus is also conjuncting the sun and the moon, which means that their energies are commingling. Go watch the other video for the exact astrology. And then Mercury is also conjuncting, okay? Which means the planets are exactly set like this, okay? In Gemini. So we have Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini. Conjuncting means it's together with the moon and the sun, okay, which happens at every new moon. And then Uranus is also in the mix. So these two are kind of mercurial energy. This one is an energy of multiplication. This one is an energy of sort of healing, and Mercury is an energy of communication. This one is an energy of electricity. They go very well together, okay? And then the moon and the sun, obviously, every new moon you have, so it's basically that it's a super focused energy of communication, multiplication, things like this. Okay, so go watch the other video if you want to, for specific type of working, specific type of stuff that you can do. This one is just about deities and spirits that you can work with if you are a magical person, even if you're not a magical person, even if you're maybe of the Christian persuasion or something like that. I have some stuff in like that for you here today. Okay, so please keep watching, because I think I'm pretty inclusive. Let's see. So specific types of spirits that you can work with tonight, just tonight. Some of them you can work with at any new moon, but some of them is just tonight because we have this particular formation here, plus Saturn just went in Aries. And plus we have Memorial Day today, and I don't want to say Happy Memorial Day because, it's not necessarily a happy occasion. It's just in memory of those people who were soldiers in our lives, okay? So, but acknowledging that it is Memorial Day and everything like that, great day and great couple of days this weekend, really very good day to work with these energies. So twins, obviously, because Gemini means twins, okay? Any kind of twin energies. Warrior twins, especially because today is Memorial Day, because Saturn just went into Aries. That's excellent warrior energy, okay? Sun and moon, deities and spirits and things like that. And I'm going to have a lot of examples. So if there's a solar twin and a not, and a lunar twin, even better, okay? But sun moon energies, they don't have to be. Deities of light and dark, such as Isis and Nephthys, Osiris and Set, are a good example of those. They're also twins, by the way. They're quadruplets, actually. And then fate gods are another set that I don't have on here because it's just a personal opinion. Fate gods, people who can see, deities who can see in the past, the present, future. You get what my drift, okay? So people who look in a couple directions, spirits who look in a couple directions. Okay, so let's see. So the first set of deities, obviously, the Dioscuri. Excellent to work with during this time. Not only are they twins, they are born of different fathers. They're comminglings of different energies, which Uranus is great at commingling opposite energies together into a whole. Okay, that's, if you're not doing any kind of magic of division, you can do magics of multiplication here. Castor and Pollux. They're also warriors. They refuse to be with each other. One of them presided over the nighttime. One of them presided over the daytime. but they refused to live without each other. So the one that was elevated to God status refused to leave the one that was you can go look these things up, but he refused to leave. I don't know which one was who. Okay. Another great deity combo that you can work with today is Apollo and Artemis. Twins, gods, warriors, excellent to work with. Another energy to work with today is Venus Urantia. Venus Urantia is basically the equivalent of Inanna and Ishtar and those, and Freya as well. Okay, so they're warrior goddesses that are also goddesses of love and also enchantresses. Okay, also sorceresses, and they also know how to do magic and all of that stuff, which fits very well here. All right, now two energies that you can work with today is back to back Uranus and Jupiter. Okay, and another, this is just my opinion, Odin and Loki are very good to work with today, because Odin, in my opinion, okay, maybe an unpopular opinion, but Odin to me would represent Uranus, the energy of Uranus, creator god, sky god. He comes from the skies, he comes with the storms, things like this. And then Loki would represent Mercury, which is the trickster energy, the kind of mercurial, like, thievery and mischief and trading and all of these things that Mercury is. So Odin and Loki, blood brothers. If you know your Norse mythology, you do. If you don't, you don't. Okay. This is for those of you who are into Norse mythology. Yes. So Odin and Loki, excellent to work with tonight. Let's move on. So then we're talking about fate gods as well. Remember how I said fate gods? And gods of the crossroads. Sometimes they're one and the same, okay? This is just for this moon because Uranus and Mercury are here. We have Saturn and Aries in some other parts of the zodiac. I'll put the zodiac up in the thumbnail, so, for the video, so you can kind of watch. All right? So Janus is an excellent person to work with. Fate god. He's also like multiple faceted. You can work with different facets of Janus in the same working. Okay, great to work with for tonight. Hecate, especially the Hecate at the crossroads that has the heads looking in different parts, of the road. Okay, Hecate that's liminal, you can work with that very well. Okay, because astral travel is a thing that you're working with tonight. Hecate is great. Also, Hecate comes under the purview of light and dark. She embodies both. She's the light and the darkness. She's really the representative of the Big Bang, in my opinion. So if you work science magic tonight, excellent. Hecate is excellent. All right. Now, the archetype of the divine twins is another one. The divine twins are Proto-Indo-European deities that have spawned a lot of fairy tales and myths around the European and the Proto-Indian area. Okay, so you can look this up. It's an excellent read. Normally they're like twin oaks or something. So I'm Romanian, so if in this, yeah. in our culture that we have the archetype of the divine twins. We discussed Freya and Freyr, Balder and Hoder, light and dark, mirth and seriousness. Balder and Hoder, excellent to work with. Also, life and death. Okay, so Balder and Hoder is like if you want to close the door on an issue today, if you want to blockbust and like go into a different part of your life where you're happy, excellent to work with Balder and Hoder. Excellent. Okay. Gods and goddesses with many faces. We talked about this. Okay. If you have any more questions, you can drop me down in the comments. Okay. So next is for those ones that have monotheistic, they're not necessarily polytheistic in their practices, and some of the Christian witches that frequent my channel. We're inclusive here, so I'm including some of you. Okay, the Lord of Hosts, excellent. Elohim is another one that's excellent. Saint Michael is another one that's excellent. I don't have all of them here, but I'm just rattling them off. You can write them down if you want. Okay. Sophia, Hagia Sophia, excellent. Um, if you work with any kind of like the Word of God is also an excellent one to work with tonight. Um, all right. Metatron is the angel of science. He's also the patron angel, archangel of Aquarius. So therefore he's equated with sort of Uranian energy, and like, he gives you all of these sciencey things. Great to do work with tonight. Okay. Metatron, I would say if you choose anybody, it would be the Word of God, Metatron, and Elohim. Enoch as well tonight. Okay. Because interdimensional travel, his purview. Gabriel, the archangel, also excellent because he rules over the element of air, which obviously this is all air all the time is tonight's motto, all air all the time. Okay. Anything that has the purview of air is great. Horse deities. Okay, horse deities, excellent to work with tonight. Okay, so we have some. Caelus is another name of Uranus. We have Rihanna, we have Epona, we have the stallion that mounted the world. Okay. In some obscure texts, the Morrigan is also a horse goddess in some facets of herself. The Morrigan is also a great one to work with tonight because not only is she a warrior goddess, but she represents the dark moon, she represents the light and the darkness. Excellent. Many facets as well. Great. Okay. Then the night goddesses. Great to work with primordial night goddesses today. Okay, because this is a primordial energy. The sun is a primordial energy. The moon is a primordial energy. So primordial goddesses, excellent to work with. The dark of night goddesses, because this is happening here. So Nyx and Neith and any kind of like, obviously Hecate, I've mentioned her before, but she bears another mention here. Nyx and Neith and any kind of night goddess. I'm going to mention Lilith here. Obvious choice. Multifaceted. Her sisters can be twins in some aspects of the mythology, okay? Or Eve and Lilith together as light and dark. Great, okay? If you do any kind of those magics, all right? Now, we've already mentioned Isis and Nephthys and Osiris and Set. They're really quadruplets, okay? They're really quadruplets that were born at the same time. Sometimes it says that Isis is the oldest. Sometimes Osiris is the oldest. It depends. Sometimes Set is the oldest, and he just is not fit to rule. Ra doesn't like him, okay? It depends on which part of this pantheon you learned in, okay? But yes, these you can do two or you can do all four. Excellent to work with. All right. Then I have some then I have Amaterasu and Tsukuyami. Sorry for my pronunciation, okay? I don't work with these deities, okay? Amaterasu is the goddess of the sun. He is the god of the moon, and they were born as twins. Susanoo is their third, but he is a brother. He's not a twin with them. And I put in very bold down here, last but not least, Hermes is another form of Mercury. So we can work with Hermes here as well. Any other ones? You can work. So tonight, Other deities that you can work with tonight that are not lunar and new moon and all of this is Saturn. Okay, Saturn in his warrior aspect. Okay, um, Saturn as boundary maker. Okay, because this is excellent energy of multiplication, but sometimes you need a little bit of a containment system for things that multiply that you might not want. Very good to work with Saturn and Aries, to speak your truth, speak your boundary. Okay. Um, let's see who else do we have. Well, you guys can let me know if there's other twins. I know I didn't go through the Mayan pantheon. They have a lot of twin energies in the Mayan pantheon. Um, and I didn't do any Native American. Those are somewhat close practices. So if you guys want to share, if you're Native American or anything like that, if you guys want to share anything from your culture, I would really like it. I would appreciate it. I really love to learn. Um, so yes, these are just some of the energies that you can work with tonight. Let's see. I wanted to say, please don't forget twins, and especially warrior twins. Okay. All right, collective. Um, that was it for me tonight. It's been a long night. I'm sorry. I'm saying all the time. Like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to. And I will see you next week. Okay. Bye bye.